So yesterday we saw the e-commerce application. What we did here was we did to displaying the items, displaying the header and the side panel. But hello Jai Shankar. Hello Jai Shankar. So so yesterday we saw up to displaying the items. Okay, not more than that. We just saw how to display the items, how to get it from the JSON server and display it here. So today what we will see is what happens when we click on this add to cart button and how it goes to the cart, and in the cart how it is going to be displayed. We'll see all those things. So first let us set up what happens when we click on this add to cart button. So let's see, we have this product component. So where is this product component? This is the product component. We had added one add to cart button. But if we, this is our current application, but this is our original application where I have already completed creating the project. So here what was happening, we need something like this. When I click on add to cart, another button is displaying, that is go to cart. Again, if I click on add to cart on this book, the add to cart button is getting disappeared and go to cart is coming. Okay, so that means we need two buttons. When I click on one button, it is changing some value. So because according to that value, the previous button is getting hidden and new button is getting displayed. So this thing we need to do it. So we need two buttons. First button is this, second button is this, another button. So that is go to cart. Okay, and this button will have the same style. Let's say class is equal to btn theme. Okay, and w100. Okay, fine. Now what we need to do is when I click on this button, we have to add this book to cart, isn't it? So I'll bind an event, click is equal to something like add to cart. And what I will add to cart, we have to pass the whole object. Okay, what is the object? The object is book. Already we have the book, isn't it? We are doing ng for and all those things. So book will be there. So this book we will pass it to the method. Okay, and yeah, so this function will change the value and do everything. So let's go to the component and set some values. So what we will do is we'll have something like we'll have a flag called is product in cart. So what this value will do, so this is a boolean value and it will be false initially. Okay, so what this will do is when I click on add to cart button, this particular flag will become true, and this flag will be used to show and hide the two buttons. Okay, So let me write something like the add to cart button, add to cart functionality. So in this method we have a book, isn't it? Book is there, and here what we will do is, first thing is we have to add the book to the cart. So for that we already had a cart service. Do we have it? In the core we have a book service. Okay, so we need a cart service as well. So in the cart service what we will do is, we'll have a functionality for adding the book to cart. Okay, so let me create the cart service. The SRC app core, I'll create a cart service. ng generate service cart. Okay, cart service got created. So let's get back. So this is the cart service. Okay, so now the cart service, what I need to do is, here I'll have some things like, so when I add something to the cart, what will happen? It will add the product to an array. Okay, it will be known as cart products. So cart products is an array. Okay, so it's of any array and it is empty initially. Okay, is the cart products array. Now we need to write that method. What was that? Add to cart method. So let me write the maybe add product to cart. Okay, add product to cart method. So this add product to cart method will be called when from that component, that is from the product component, when we click on add to cart. Okay, so let's say we have a product which we will add to the cart. Okay, but the problem is, if you go to our original application, this is not our this is the complete application. What was happening here when I let me do this. When I click on add to cart, and if you see in the cart, we are having this count, isn't it? Number of books. So when I click on it first time, showing the count is 1, and I can increase it. Okay, but if you see in the, what was that, the JSON file, I'll show you one thing. In the JSON file, we saw that we have this data about books, isn't it? But we don't have that count, how many books are selected and all those things. This whole object will be passed, but we don't have how many books are passed, isn't it? So we need to add a count as well. So what I'll do is, here, while doing this, I'll to the book object, I'll add one more property, that is the count. Okay, so I'll do something like, I'll create a variable, let current book is equal to, what I'll do is I'll destructure this book object, that is product object, product, and then what I'll do is I'll add one more property, that is count. Count is 1. So for the first time when I'm adding one object, it will have count 1. Later on we can increase it if we want. Okay, so product count 1, and we have this cart products array, isn't it? Now I can do, what I can do is this dot cart products dot push. So I can push this new object. What is this new object? Current book. Current book. Okay, so this is what we need. to add it to the cart. Okay, so now this functionality needs to be called from which component? That is the product component. So from the product component, I'll call this method to add it to the cart. So in the product component, we already have a add to cart method. So let's go back. So what was that product component? The shared, yeah. So add to cart method was there. So in this add to cart, we can now directly call the add product to cart method. So we have to inject the cart service. So private cart service, private cart service is of type cart service. Okay. Now in the add to cart, I can write this dot cart service dot add product to cart of book. Okay. And once it is added, what I can do is I can set this value to true. So this dot sorry, this dot is product in cart is equal to true. So once this add to cart is added, add to cart button is clicked, it will set it to true. And now according to this value, we have to show and hide the these buttons, isn't it? So what I have to do, if it is true, then I have to hide the add to cart button, and I have to show the go to cart button. Okay, so I'll write here star ngif is equal to which value? It should be when it is false only, then it should be shown. So is product in cart. Okay, exact opposite thing we have to write it for the go to cart button. So here the not will not be there. So if it is true, it will be shown. If it is false, this one will be shown. Add to cart will be shown. Okay. Now let's check this. So first add to cart is there. When I click on it, the go to cart button has come. Okay. So it is working fine. If I click on add to cart, go to cart is coming. Again add to cart, go to cart is coming. Okay. Fine. Now there's a small thing. Let me see. Okay, fine. That's fine. Now what is to be done? I have clicked this. Now what I want is, before going to the cart, when I click on this, it should show. If I click on one, so let's say, suppose I click on add to cart, one book should be shown here, like our original application. See our original. This is the original application. So when I add to cart, one item is shown. When I click another book, another one more, two is shown. When I click on three books, three is shown. So let's say I click more books. So now it is showing 9. Let's say more books. So it is showing 12. So we have to put this value as well. How, from where will this thing come? It will come from the cart products. That means we are having in the cart component, not cart component, cart service. Here we had a cart products array. So here what we are doing, we are pushing each book. So cart products array will become big and big when we keep on pushing. So this cart products is an array, so it will have a length. Suppose 5 books are there, the length will be 5. So according to that length, what we have to do, we have to put the value here. If the length is 5, just show 5 here. Okay, so we have to do that first. And this is another component. This is product component. This is another component called the header component. So component to component communication is directly not possible. So we can use many things like services, we can use subjects. So we'll go with subjects, because services, using services, there is a problem. What it will do is it will change the value, it will pass the value, but there we have to again call it. Once the value is changed, we have to call it from the header, please give me the number of books, and then it will put the value here. So that is a long procedure. So instead of that, what we can do is we can use subjects. What is the advantage of subjects is, when I click on add to cart, here we don't need to ask how many books are there. Automatically it will get updated. It will always keep on checking what is the number of books, what is the number of books, what is the number of books. It will always keep on asking the service, so it will have the value. So let's do that. So what we need to do is, in the cart service, we have to uh, create one subject which will pass the value, pass the which value, the cart products array. Okay, so that cart products array, it will always keep on sending, and from there it will always keep on asking what is the value. Okay, so after the cart products array, I'll create one more thing called cart subject. Okay, cart subject is equal to new subject. Okay, cart subject equal to new subject. What will this subject do? It will pass this value. So immediately after pushing this value, what I need to do is, I have to this dot cart subject dot next. Cart subject dot next. What I have to send? I have to send the cart products. Okay, next will send this value. Okay, so wherever we want, we can subscribe to this cart subject and get the value. Okay, so here I am sending the value. Now this value is sent, but who will receive this? The header component. So we have to, in the header component, what we have to do, we have to get this value and update it in the that cart icon. We have a cart icon there, isn't it? So there we have to accept the value. So what is the header component? This is the header component. So here what I will do is, first I will import the cart service. Okay, then we can get the subject and update the value. Okay, so in the header component, what was there? Header component, the cart image was there. Okay, fine, I'll show you how to display that number, but before that, let's import those things. Private cart service is of type cart service. Okay, now in the ng on init, first time when the header is loading, what it will check, it will always check how many books are there. Okay, so directly it will subscribe to that subject. So this dot cart service dot cart subject dot subscribe. Okay, so what it will get from there, it will get some cart items kind of thing. Cart items is of type any, and what it will do with this cart items is, here we need a property called cart item count kind of thing, which will have that number value, how many books are there. So let's say cart item count is of type number. Okay, so initially we can put it as 0. Okay, initially number of count is 0 first time when the header loads, or let me put it as any for now. No need to put any number. So what we will do is, we will After subscribing to this cart subject, we have to write something like this: dot cart item count is equal to what was the thing that we got from cart subject, that is cart items. So cart items is the whole array, cart items dot length. So cart item dot length, how many books are there? Suppose 5 is there, so cart item count will get 5. So cart item count will be updated with the that value. Okay. Now, so this thing we don't need to call again and again. Even if I am writing it in the ng on in it, what will happen whenever that value is changing in that cart items? What was that cart service? Here cart products, whenever it is changing, it will this cart subject will change, send this value, and in the header component, what will happen? It will automatically call it again to update the value. Okay, so this will keep on happening automatically. We don't need to call it again, and every time the value is changing, I don't need to call how many books are there. Okay, so this will happen automatically. So this is done. We now have the cart item count, but we have to display it. Okay, so for displaying, what we need to do is we need to add some small icon type of thing. Okay, so what was there? We had added one cart icon. Okay, that was fine, but we need something more. That means we need that small circle kind of thing, this thing. Okay, what is, we need to write some css. Let me write that css. So what I'll do is I'll create a small div. You can create divs when anything you want. So let me name it something as cart items, and then and we will display it only if that cart item count is there. If it is not there, let's say 0, for 0 items I don't want to show 0. Okay, so I'll put one ng if. It will only be shown if cart item count is true. Okay, when the cart item count is 0, but initially when the cart item is undefined, we didn't set it to 0, we just made a property, so it will have undefined, so at that time it will not be shown. Okay, so and what it will show is it will show the cart item count, the number. That means, so cart item count is the number. Okay, now if we save this and go to the browser, if I click on this having this value, you can see one more book, 2, one more book, 3, but this number we have to put it here. So we'll write some css for that. So what can be done to do that css? What we will do for discard items, so what we have to do is we have to use some position kind of styling to change the position of that and place it over there. Okay, so what is that class? That is the cart items, isn't it? Cart items. So in the cart items, so cart items parent is cart, they are already position relative I had put. Okay, so I can directly put here position absolute, then I'll change its position. Then we will give some fix height to it. Say 10px and some minimum width, because the width will keep on increasing. When it is single digit, width is small. When it is double digit, more than 9, 10, 11, 12, when it is double digit, when the number is double digit, again the width should be increased automatically, otherwise it will not look nice. Okay, that's why I'm giving a minimum width also. Then I want to have a round border, so I'll have 50% border radius. Then some font size I want to put, so font size, let's say 10px. Then I want to make it bold. Okay, then color of the text will be white. Anything else? Maybe text align, I can center it. And then let's say, let me give a little bit of padding. Okay, so now let's check this. So when I click on add to cart, it is showing here. Okay, add to cart. So this way it is increasing. Okay, fine. So this way the value is getting reflected here. Whatever value number of books are there in the cart, it is showing here. Okay, now, so that is fine. Now what we need to do is we have to go to this cart product. This is cart component. Okay, again there also what I have to do, I have to get which value I subscribe just now, this cart subject and cart items. So from the cart subject, I am getting the cart items in the header to display the number of things. But if you see our original application, what was happening? Suppose 3 books I added, 3 was coming here. And when I click on this cart, it is showing the cart component. So here what is happening? Here we are getting 1, 2, 3 books here, and also the price of 3 books. So how these things are calculated? These things are calculated by, first we have to get the cart products. So here also, just like the header, we have to call the cart subject and get the cart products here as well. Okay, then we will get the book values and display them here and calculate the price as well. Okay, so here also we have to do that. But let me show you one thing. So initially, when we have not added any books, when I click on the cart, I should get something like this. Oops, no item is in your cart. Add items to continue shopping. Shop now. So once I add something, only then it will be shown. So when the cart is empty, we should show that particular page. Okay. So we have to show a default page, which will what to do, which will be shown when there are no products. Okay, so we have the cart component, but we didn't do any routing, I guess. So let's say in the header component, when we so in the header component, we so 2 places we have to add the routing. Okay, where we will add, let me show you. In the header, we have this where is that cart image, isn't it? This cart image, this cart logo. In that logo we have to add a routing. So when I click on that cart logo, it will go to cart component. And another one is in the product component. In the product component we have a go to cart button, isn't it? When I click on, see this, when I click on add to cart, we have a go to cart. So when I click on this go to cart, then also it should go to the cart component. So two things, two places we have to add the routing. So here in the, this is which one? This is the header component, right? Oh, sorry. Yeah. So here in the cart image, we have to add that what it is called, router link. Okay, so here already router link cart is added. Okay, so we have to define this in the what it is called, routes. In the routing file we have to put this. Okay, so in the routing file we have this path blank, and then yeah, so we'll have one more route that is okay. We'll see that later on. First let's put this. So when the path is cart, what will happen is component will be which component? Cart component. Okay, so that is fine. So now where is that header? In the header already router link cart is there. Okay, so this thing we have to put it in the product component as well. So go to cart, will have this router link equal to cart. Okay, fine. Okay, now yeah, now we will go to the cart component. So what is to be written there? So cart component is empty, so we'll start writing. So we need to write two things. One is when the cart is empty, what is to be written, and also when the cart is full, what is to be displayed. Okay, so let's say div class equal to cart. So first let's show the empty cart. Okay, so div class equal to maybe empty cart. So when the cart is empty, what is to be shown? So and it will be shown. So this part will be shown only when the cart item length is 0. Okay, we'll do that later on, but first let's display this. Because we have to call the cart service and get the cart items length as well. If the cart items length is less, only then we have to show this. If the cart items is empty, only then we have to show this part. Otherwise, no need. Okay. So what did we write here? We wrote something like, okay, let me remove this. So oops, something like that. Okay. Yeah. So we'll have something like h1, the h1, and add some classes. Okay. Text large. So color also we have to add. So this class will display text theme. Then some margin bottom. Okay. So here I write oops. Then what is the next thing we need to display? Then we need some big icon. Okay. Okay, fine. So I think cart empty icon is there already. Let me check in the assets. Yeah, cart empty is there. Okay, already this item is there. So I just need to add the image. So in the image tag, class is equal to cart empty image. Okay, and then src is equal to assets slash what was the name of the file? Cart empty.svg. So cart empty.svg. Okay, so that is the image. And then after the image, what we had no items in our cart, add items to continue shopping. So this part we have to write after the image. So again h1, I put one h1. Here I write class equal to some margin top. No items in your cart. Okay. Then one more line I have to write, that is add items to continue shopping. That's what we wrote, isn't it? Yeah, that's fine. Now after this we need a button which will say shop now. Okay, so after this is 3, we need a button. Yeah, so I'm just giving it some 25% width and some margin top is added, nothing else. Okay, so here I'll put shop now, but when I click on this button it should go to the that thing, right? What it is called, it should go to the home page for shopping, to continue shopping, isn't it? So I need to add a router link. So maybe router link equal to home, and then I have to add the route as well. Okay, so a router link is equal to home, and this one I have to add it to the routing as well. So where is the routing? Yeah, so here I can add one more path. Path is, the path is home, then load which component? Home component. So let me do one thing. We already have this home component here, isn't it? So what I can do is, so here you can we can add one more concept, that is redirecting. So I can redirect to which path? The blank path. Okay, so I'll put something like this. It will redirect it to the blank path. And one more property we need to write here, that is path match. We have to write full. Okay, so when I go to that home route, it will automatically redirect it to blank path, which will load the home component. Okay, fine. So this is done. Now the only empty cart is done. So we have to display the thing also when the cart is full. But before that, we didn't declare these styles. We have to write these styles as well. Okay. So in the CSS, what I'll do is I have to write so many things. So did I miss anything here? Let me check once. Here, this is the empty cart. Only the empty cart is done now. So yeah, fine. So that is enough. So in the cart.css, what I'll do is first the cart class is there. Okay. In the cart class, we'll put some styles like margins. Then we have the empty cart class.